According to court documents on gangs in Northern California, in July 2004, the city of Sacramento filed an injunction against the gangs in what was known as Franklin Villa. Police were then able to assist in making the area safe. Absentee landlords were pushed out. Buildings were in disrepair and tenants were not being screened, allowing many gang families to occupy the homes and apartments in Franklin Villa. It was at that time that the Sacramento Housing Redevelopment Agency, SHRA, took over all homes and converted the alleys into yards. One of those alleys was called Murder Alley, where many killings and shootings took place. One street, G Parkway, was changed to Shining Star Drive because gangs associated themselves to the street, calling themselves G-Mob. The housing complex was then renamed Phoenix Park. It took a lot of resources, time, and hard work by many city agencies helping to restore this community into a safe, clean environment. Jackie Rose, while working for SHRA, stands out as one dedicated community worker. She helped resurrect this community from the ashes of crime, gang violence, and unsafe housing into Phoenix Park. Now, it's a rising star of a community where kids and families feel safe, where they're nurtured and given an opportunity to dream big and strive to be the best that they can be. Today, Phoenix Park is safe, clean, and vibrant. It has rose from its ashes because of people like Miss Jackie. She is indeed a rose in the park.
Loves children.
Miss Jackie Rose is a very intelligent woman.
Like a second mom. Just another mother to Phoenix Park.
A wonderful person to my kids.
Miss Jackie's the one.
A friend and a protector.
An inspiring woman.
Miss Jackie is the person that cares about you.
Miss Jackie to me is a wonderful woman.
She's a very inspiring woman.
She's a motivator.
Supportive.
Jackie Rose is a mother, a grandmother, a community activist. I'm also a wife, and a person that cares about their community a lot.
Where were you raised?
I was born and raised right here in Sacramento, California. My most rewarding accomplishment is taking the community of what used to be Franklin Villa to now Phoenix Park, working tirelessly to make sure that the families here, especially the kids, had a chance at life. That's been the most rewarding thing that I've done thus far.
How long did that take?
That took many years. I've been in this community for 20 years. It took at least 15 of those 20 years. We are now into 5 years of this community being what is now known as Phoenix Park. This used to be the most horrific place in Sacramento, California, and now it is a beautiful place for families to live, work, and play. So it's taken a while, but it's been an experience. It's been a roller coaster ride, but it's also been an experience that I can say has been very fulfilling for me.
How'd you get started in this community service work?
Well, I started in this community service work as a young person growing up in Del Paso Heights. Went to Grant High School. Started to see things in that community take shape in a way that I didn't particularly like, especially with young people. I had a son at the time and was very involved in the activities in the community, and he was part of the Little League there in the community, and there was just a lot of things that wasn't right with Little League at that time. And there was a gentleman by the name of Wendell Eccles who I went to complain, and he basically told me that if I wanted change, that I needed to get involved, and that's how change was going to happen. So once I got involved with Little League, I started getting involved in just about every aspect of the community, and found out that that's where my passion was, is to really be part of the fabric of the community and set policy and make a difference in people's lives. So, and then the other thing that I guess there was, this community was made up of a lot of people that look like me. And one of the things that I was not going to do was to be afraid of my own people. And so I was never afraid of them. I think that their actions and some of the things that they were doing, I thought was something that needed to be changed. I'm very vocal, so I would always take them to the side and talk to them about those actions. But I was really never afraid of anyone in here, even the most horrific folks that were at that time in this community, that were the murderers and some of them doing some real horrific things. I was never afraid of those folks, and I can't explain that. I would also have to say that that was a real spiritual undertaking that took place with me.
And who encourages Jackie Rose?
Well, I get my encouragement from my husband. My husband is someone who supports everything that I do. There was a time when my husband didn't want me working in a community like this. He used to always come home and tell me, who wants their wife working in a community like that? And I would tell him, if not me, who? Who's gonna work in a community like this one? And so we would begin to talk about, the kind of work that I was doing and how I needed to make sure that, I took steps to be safe and those types of things. But I think that my husband keeps me going. I think I will just say this to you, when I see these kids make those steps to being better, they keep me going. I think these families who have moved on to bigger and better things and have made better lives for themselves have kept me going. So and of course my spirituality, God keeps me going, and that's the main thing overall. There's been several leaders that have influenced me. I spoke of Wendell Eccles, a community advocate in Del Paso Heights, was my mentor and my main motivation of doing the kind of work that I'm doing today. Several other people that was my motivation was Sam Pinnell, who was the longtime council member for this district, and of course his wife, Bonnie Pinnell, who took over his seat after his passing, have been a great motivation in regards to just making sure that they can be assured that they have put people in place like myself that's going to carry out their vision and their mission to do what's right for this district and the people who live in this district. So they have been a great motivation for me, and I'll just say that I grew up with all those people, so those people not only inspired me as leaders in the community, but knowing who they were as people, growing up with them, has really inspired me over the years.
Where did Jackie Rose's core values come from?
My core values came from my grandmother. My grandmother grew up very poor in San Antonio, Texas, but my grandmother was the most kind and generous soul that you ever wanted to meet. If somebody was hungry, she fed them. If somebody needed clothing, she would make sure they had clothing. I think I get a lot of my core values from her. That's one of the reasons why I do what I do today, is because I watched her as a young girl doing that in the community of Del Paso Heights for many, many years. She always took care of people. She always fed people. She was always there as this quiet storm taking care of a community that really had a lot of needs.
Now, I know you retired from your regular job, but you're right back here again. I mean, how long is Jackie Rose going to continue to do this, and do you see retirement in the future?
I will just say this. A lot of people have asked that question. I retired last July, In fact, on the 22nd, it will be a year that I will have retired from the Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency. And I thought I was in retirement for a minute, and I was asked to come back here and continue to fulfill some of the unmet needs that needed to be looked at in this community. And I took the challenge and am here on a part-time basis, well, a supposed part-time basis, but more like a full-time basis, just carrying out the things that I've done over the last 20 years. So I don't really see retirement in the cards. I see wherever there's unmet needs in the community to continue to do it until I can't do it any longer. Well, I would want people to say that she cared about the community, that she worked hard for the community, that she had a great passion and desire to make people better. I would want people to say that if I'm doing well as I'm doing, I want people to do as well as I'm doing. I want people to know that they can live on that equal playing field like everyone else. I want people to be able to feel that. And when I'm gone, I want all of these young people to know that what I desire for them is to take over where I leave off. And that's really what I'm doing, is I'm right now training them to take my seat one day and to carry out my legacy past me into their legacy so our communities can be better places. Well, for me, for the Sacramento Voices is our children. That's the most important thing in the world. They are the future. They need that foundation. They need education more than they ever did before. It is a civil rights issue in regards to them getting that education. And they need the right people working with them. They need the right messages. They need the getting through to them. They need the right people that are leading them to where they need to go. And I just think that the message of education and putting all the resources into our youth is what I would like to toot the horn about in regards to making sure that everyone knows that these kids deserve the best, and we need to give it to them. Well, I'll just say that here in Phoenix Park, there is a model. It's a really beautiful model. I would say that first, in communities like this one, you have to have all of the components and all of the collaborative partners working effectively together at the table. It hasn't always been like that. It is now. I think that the safety in the community is key. In order for kids and families to thrive and to walk around the community, it has to be safe. There's just no doubt that the community has to be safe. Another strong component in this community is the providing safe and sanitary housing for the families who live in this community. That has always been a key element for this community, and it hasn't always been like that. And since the development of Phoenix Park, we have safe and sanitary housing for all of the families here in Phoenix Park. And I think that the last component that was part of the plan that got us where we're at today in Phoenix Park is social services. The families in here need social services. They need programs that can basically meet them where they are with their basic needs, giving them the opportunity to grow and thrive and be better, and to pass on those types of things to their children. And then, of course, for me, the thing that is the most important is programs for kids, programs for young people, after-school programs, family literacy programs for families where families and kids, parents and kids come together monthly to do things together, teaching those types of things. And then also job development skills for my teenagers is very, very, very important. They cannot go and go to a job if they don't know what they need to do on a job, how to dress for a job, how to be successful on a job, how to clock in and out on a job. All of those things are very, very important. We have all of those things in place here in Phoenix Park today, which makes it a whole lot easier for us to do our jobs and to see the successes that we had always wished for many, many years ago. So at this point, I would say that I wish for these programs to continue, and then for them to continue to be better and better and better. I think that we have all the components and all of the people in place. We just need to continue these programs, and the right people need to run these programs for our community and for the people in it.
Is there a need for volunteers?
There is always a need for volunteers. We're always looking for volunteers. We have a lot of community-based organizations that come in here and provide different services to our youth, different services to our parents. And we're always looking for those opportunities for folks to come in here and to actually provide those type of resources and that type of service to this community. Indeed.
We're concluding this interview with Jackie Rose, a Rose in the Park.